It's more about what has taken place over the last few decades, realizing that many young persons of color have been stopped, frisked, harassed, women call for help, help won't arrive, or something is said negatively because of their skin tone. I'm here because I am a son, a father, a grandfather. I'm here because I am a neighbor, a friend, an uncle. My voice is not just for me, but for all who are here and those across this country. We all want a better world for our children, our grandchildren. We want to live in a place where justice rain down like water. We want to live in a place where we are not harassed because of our skin tone or because we don't look like someone else. We want the same rights as any other citizen across this country. We want the ability to be able to walk out our homes and jog down neighborhood streets without being suspected of robbery. We want the ability to watch birds that flies without being harassed and police call upon us because we're simply going about a normal routine in America life. We don't want to be harassed because we're outside barbecuing. We don't want to be harassed because somehow we're getting on the elevator and people cringe up because somehow they're afraid because we might do something. It is impossible for a society to flourish when there are those in our communities that rather see us downtrodden than lift us up. What I'm asking for us as a community today is that we search deep within our hearts and say one to another, how can we possibly make a difference? How is it possible that I, in my own unique way, one on one, befriend a sister or brother who do not look like me? Not be afraid of my skin tone or my background. I am also here to say, not only are we concerned about those individuals who lost their lives because of injustice, because of police brutality, but also am aware that we have fallen police officers who serve our communities day in and day out. And I don't want to overlook that fact that we do have men and women in uniform who serve us honorably. And sometimes they lose their lives in the process as well. And so I stand with our sisters and brothers in law enforcement, those who are doing their jobs and trying to do it to the best of their abilities. I am for all law enforcement officers who try to do their best to stand up for what is right. Because if something wrong happened in my neighborhood, I'm going to call the police. And I hope they will come and do their jobs honorably. And so I stand with them as well. So the hurt goes across the lines. Not only those black individuals who did nothing wrong, but yet find themselves in a position where they lost their lives because abuse of power. Abuse of power. We must stand together against the abuse of power. I'm also standing here because if anyone does anything wrong, criminal, I want them arrested. Black, white, doesn't matter. If you do something wrong against the law, you ought to be locked up. I'm not looking for a pass. I'm looking for justice. I wanted to be treated fairly. I wanted to be able to walk up and down the streets, no matter where I am, without being harassed, without you being harassed. But at the same time, we must recognize there is a time that we must speak against injustice when its face appears. And so as we gather, I am honored by the presence of so many who are gathered here on this sacred ground to stand up for what is right and for justice. For justice. We cannot let one bad apple or four bad apples within a police department or sheriff department or a person who take it into their own hands to do injustice. We cannot let that slide. But we must stand together when that happens as a nation, as community, to say, no, we are not going to allow that to take place. And so for George Floyd, we're not going to allow that to take place. We're going to stand for what is right. We're going to stand when things are correct. We're going to stand when it is necessary. I'm just saying, when it comes to law enforcement, we stand with those officers. 95%, maybe 98% are doing the right thing every day. We stand with them, and we'll mourn the life of the officer who lost his life over there in Moody, Officer Williams. We're praying for his family and others. They stand with courage, and that need to be commended. And I say that today. But Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. It's a sad commentary when we try to combine all lives matter with Black Lives Matter. The best statement I heard along those lines is a person saying, my house is on fire. And the neighbor said, all houses matter. When the fire department shows up, he's not going to the house, to all homes, to put water on all homes, just the home that's on fire. We know all lives matter, but we're dealing with the fire that we're dealing with today because Black Lives Matter. There's a fire out there. Let's deal with that. May God bless you.